There was no one physically closer to President Trump last night during the attack than my next guest. In fact, he was supposed to perform at the dinner. This is just moments before the president was rushed off stage. Here with me now is Mentalist Oz Pearlman. Thank you so much for being here. I know you got very little sleep last night, but I just want to talk about that moment. You are leaning down with a card, and we're playing it right now. You're talking to, looks like the First Lady. The president is right next to you. And then clearly things got insane. Explain.
Yeah, I was performing right then for the president, the press secretary, and the First Lady. It's kind of like a pivotal moment in the trick where you're just about to do the reveal of like, wow. And we hear commotion. And, in the room, when there's commotion of that sort, you tend to think, we've been on a lot of events, is this a medical emergency? Is somebody having a heart attack? Because you heard a noise. It wasn't gunshots. I wasn't sure it was a tray. We're also higher than everyone, so we have a very good vantage point versus the thousands of people in the room. And I see everyone swarming one table. And I'm looking and trying to understand, and then you see people getting down. And I personally thought, like before I went down, I didn't hear any shots or see what looked like a shooter. I thought there was about to be a bomb. Like I really very much thought, oh my God, it's about to explode, because of the way that it was being approached. Wasn't like guns out, it was like to stop someone. So my first panic when you see in the videos, looking, and then I go down. One person next to me, I can't remember if it was Courtney, went down quicker than me, and I'm like, I gotta get down, something's about to explode. It was incredibly surreal. I get down, I kind of get down on all fours facing left, stage left, and then I watch. It feels like slow motion because of the way the adrenaline is. So there's Ouija, she was blown away, and she's amazed, and then they rush across to get POTUS, and the president gets like taken down by Secret Service, and we don't know what's going on, and he came down. You can look at the video, I don't know the distance, but less than a foot away from me. I'll never forget the image for my whole life, because I'm on all fours, turned like this. They bring the president down directly in front of me, and we just look at each other for about 2 seconds. And my mind, obviously, this is like a huge adrenaline, it's just like, oh no, are we about to die? I thought it was about to explode. I thought that was really my instinct. Then I heard what sounded like I thought were shots. So at that point, my mind shifted. I also wasn't sure if he was hurt, because his face was not, it wasn't like, he went down really hard. The Secret Service, it's not, I thought in the movies, I don't know if they take you down easy. It was a tackle. Like it was NFL, and that would hurt anyone. I don't care what age you are. So when we were looking at each other, he was just looking, but the expression in his face didn't show whether there was pain or what was going on. And then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, it's like, oh, it's seared in my brain. They pick him up kind of, and they go out, and then we're on all fours. And I see Courtney, and I see 1 or 2 of the other people that are at the dais, and we're like, are they shooting? Like, we don't know what's going on. So I don't want to get up. So we army crawl. She went first, and then the rest of us army crawl out because we didn't want to stand up, because I don't want to get hit. I thought there might be somebody still shooting.
I mean, wow. I'm just taking in the story that you just told, as I'm sure all of our viewers are. You mentioned the president's face, and you were face to face with him for 2 very long seconds.
The craziest vision ever. It was very, like, you never expect that situation ever.
I mean, your job is reading people's faces. It's part of your craft.
Right.
What did you gather from that very quick reaction?
So I think they were well trained. You gotta right away say the Secret Service did what they were supposed to do, which is they are supposed to, take charge and save lives. They sprang into action. Obviously, I can't speak to what happened in the room because we all took it in at the same moment. But when they had to, they went into action. It was near impossible to read his face because, again, I couldn't tell if he had been injured or hurt. I think it was more of the way he was taken down is quite sudden and lightly violent. So I registered him where we weren't there for a minute. It was just, boom, he's down. I was really surprised because I've never been that close to the president. We're like face to face in a very intimate moment. So we're like looking at each other, and I don't know what's going on, but it was just a stare and then out. But yeah, it was really shocking.
Oz, you said that you were in the middle of doing a trick for him. And
Yeah,
for
trick.
the First Lady, I mean,
Yeah,
you could see you were holding up a card for the First Lady. What were you doing?
So I was actually doing a trick for the press secretary where she was thinking of a name. I've done this with you before on air, Dana, and I started guessing how many letters are in the name. And right at that moment, if you see their expressions, the timing is so weird because you see them be amazed because of the name and they go, oh! And then right at that moment is when we all see what happened. So we were all taken in and you watch the moment, watch them react. You can see Ouija to the left and the president gives a smile because they just saw it go, oh my God. Then they saw what's going on in the audience. So the trick directly went into the sudden sense of tremendous danger.
What was the name that you asked her?
So I can't really say that right now. I need to get that. That's not. It's. I can't tell you whose name it is or what it is yet. I haven't really discussed that or said if it's a personal nature.
Okay. So it was understood. Well, you'll get back to us on that. And before I let you go,
I haven't spoken to the people there yet, so
understood.
It wasn't there. There's no real context. Yeah.
Yep, I totally understand. Before I let you go, so that was, you were on all fours, and then you went backstage. Were you then again with the president or other people? Can you just explain quickly what happened next?
No, so backstage was chaos. Like, you think that we got off, and now we don't feel really danger. I don't really think anybody's going to kill us at this point, but we heard someone's been killed. There's been shots fired. We heard that very quickly. And then we did not know if the president or first lady had been injured or hurt because they were whisked away. There was no blood anywhere, but there are literally 50 or 60 people, assault rifles, guns, everyone's running through us, guns blazing. I saw the vice president at one point about 5 minutes later, and he looked very calm, and he actually was very assuring. We didn't know after that. We found out that POTUS is okay, that First Lady's okay, but that was like, again, I want to say 5 minutes later. It was chaos backstage. We didn't know if there was more than one shooter, just one shooter. Then we heard the shooter was killed. Mm-hmm. Then no one really knew what had happened for an extended period, which was kind of, jarring. We didn't know what to do.
Yeah, well, you said beforehand it would be a night to remember.
I unfortunately said that the clip with me and President Trump will be seen 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years from now, and it was spot on, but for all the wrong reasons.
Well, here with me now is Jamie Raskin, who is a member of Congress from Maryland and top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. Wow, what a story. Tell me what happened.
Well, I had just come in the room a few minutes before. Unlike most of the people there, I was not dressed in black tie. I'd been at a memorial service for Virginia Roberts Giuffre. It was 1 year since her passing, and I came from that in another event in Annapolis at the home of Iris Krasnow. And I arrived, and I'd just been there for a few moments. I had not even gotten to the table where I was going to be, table 36 with the people from NBC. The people at the Boston Globe table saw me, got up, they wanted to greet me and say hello, and they said, your old friend Kerry Kennedy is here. We go back to law school in the 20th century, and so Kerry came over, we were talking. There was also to my right was a former student of mine, Paul Strauss, who's the statehood senator of Washington, D.C. And they came up, I started telling Kerry a story because I'd been speaking at the Kennedy's King dinner the night before, and I was talking about how, they weren't honoring all kings, just Dr. King, mm-hmm. and they weren't honoring all Kennedys, but JFK and RFK, but also Kerry. But anyway, and suddenly there's these loud booms, crashing sounds, plates, silverware, everything flying all over the place. And people started yelling, get down, get down. Somebody kind of grabbed me and pushed me from behind. I landed on Kerry and a couple other people, and then people were panicked, and I thought immediately about Kerry's situation, having lost her father in gun violence assassination and her uncle, and we were down on the ground for about 2 or 3 minutes before people were saying it's safe to get back up. They got him, we got up, and the first thing that Kerry said to me was, this is happening in schools across the country, and the kids have no resources to process their trauma. And so she was talking about gun violence and thinking about other people. And she's a great human rights activist. And, you know, nobody wants to be in a situation like that, but I was glad to have been with her.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first thing that you thought of. You thought about the trauma, obviously, that she had when she was, you know, a baby, or
Yeah.
she certainly has known about, because it's not only American history, it's obviously how she lost her father.
Family history, but we've not dealt with the problem. I mean, we're losing, you know, thousands of people a year to gun violence. There are 100 people shot every day. So yesterday, while that nightmare was going on at the White House Correspondents Ball, dozens of people had been shot across the country, and we just accept that as the normal course of business. So, you know, I think before we get back to all the political divisions and fighting about stuff, maybe this could be a moment of unity for trying to focus on the things that the vast majority of the American people want, like a universal violent criminal background check.